we've got the last category on this list, which is a major childhood event, which could be almost anything. It's basically, what was the most important thing that happened to you in your childhood that shapes you as a person today? And this is a big
They
question.
sold me into slavery. Then I got out of slavery. Didn't like slavery.
Nope.
Tried slavery, decided I didn't like it. Kind of sucks.
Not my thing.
Well, mine was glitter. I'm just kidding.
I found out
You know,
what glitter was, and I was so happy.
Oh. It's going to be a running joke all the way through this campaign, I can tell.
I'm going to be using color spray a lot at first level, so it's
Hey, where's your
basically
glitter?
it's basically a first level wizard's form of pepper spray. It's color spray.
Awesome.
Get away from me! Be dazzled. So, no, I think Leaf's most important encounter that shaped his life was just being found just by this magic council and them deciding he has talent and being taught by Herondil. He was taught for how many years? Like,
So many.
let me look. 50 years. 50 years of study. Yeah, so he was trained for a really long time. So that's why it's like really messed up that Herondil decided to disown him as a student because he taught him for like 50 years, and then he's like, nah, you're not the right student. I need to find a different one.
Right.
So so Leaf is also known as the Forsaken among the Elven culture because of what happened to him with that whole teacher thing. That's why he had to leave the Mirani Forest.
I remember that from your other character sheet.
Yep.
Um,
So if there's any elves from the Mirani Forest, they may know that.
I'm trying to decide one for Jekko because this isn't nearly as easy or clean cut as either of yours. Because you kind of had the slavery idea in your head already, and Josh, you've had that in your head for probably months.
Yeah. About 6 months, yeah.
Might have to think on that one a little bit.
Sorry, I got distracted. What did I miss?
You haven't missed much so far because I'm trying to decide on this major childhood event for Diabri's character.
Ah.
And I was
You
saying
hear
that...
mine?
Yeah, getting discovered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting
Yeah, I was
disowned.
here for that.
Those
Sorry, I
both
found
of
out
those
one of the
things.
cats was peeing on things, so I had to
Uh,
handle that. Cats.
Cats, man. You know, I heard cats don't dance. Is it true?
They don't dance. They do sleep a lot, though.
Oh.
And they're not my cats, so... ugh. They're cute. I just don't care for living things all that well. I can't even care for plants. Ugh.
I feel like plants are actually surprisingly harder to care for than other living things.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I've only ever managed to keep one plant alive, and it was a cactus. And that one lives all right. But every other plant that needs water just sort of dies. I don't feel like I'd be suitable for caring for like a cat because they need water. Or so I've heard. I couldn't say myself, honestly.
I'm going to say that a major childhood event in his life was, since his parents are so dryly Auroran, they basically kind of cloistered him in a in a monastery for a really long time, at least a year.
Harsh.
Yeah. Because with that kind of oppression, he was like starting to kind of wander off from the faith, and they were like, no, you need to kind of figure out your stuff and go in this monastery and figure out that we're right and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cloister.
So he was put in a monastery. I'm going to say monastery. I'm going to say cloister.
Good lord.
Cloister.
Yeah, I'm thinking like solitary confinement, because
That sucks.
Diabri wanted him later in life to be like in everybody's business. So I'm thinking having like in an early childhood event, him being like so cut off from other people that when he reaches adulthood, he completely flips the other way and he's completely in everybody's business and he's trying to learn everybody and stuff like that. I think that
Awesome.
makes sense.
Alright. So lonely, he's hugely outgoing.
Mhm.
Alright. So I found out my starting age is like 80.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was a slave for like 40 years. Oh, you were in solitary for a year? Yeah, I was a slave for 40. I win.
Let's put him in cloister.
No, he wouldn't be like that though. He'd be sympathetic. I gotta come up with a name. Soren. I'm gonna blatantly rip off Magic the Gathering cards and use Soren as my tiefling name.
Gotcha.
Yay, blatant rip-offs.
I'm gonna be Sylvanas Windrunner.
No, he's a dude. Maybe my tiefling was female. Maybe then.
All right, let me shift over to the next age range, which is adolescence.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
I
Whoops.
made a mistake. That would have been the first thing I said. Would have been the adolescence thing. So the childhood thing. Not sure. Dang.
It doesn't
I'll
have to be
think about it.
so like black and white apart from each other either, though. So it's probably a little bit blended at least.
Yeah, no, I guess I would say the childhood was just being taken by the council, and adolescence was being disowned.
That makes sense.
Because that was during a span of 50 years, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a long time.
Damn long-lived elves.
I don't like the categories they give in the adolescence like stage of life, because it's like, hey, you're awkward. Hey, you're awkward. Here you got initiated into this cult. Hey, you're awkward. And you love things.
Well, actually, my adolescence probably was an initiation into a cult, sort of. It would have been that would have been right after I got out of the whole slavery thing and started working with the Andoran faction. What do you call it? The Freedom's
Liberty's
Blade?
Edge.
Liberty's Edge. I should write that down, because that's not in my book.
Yeah, that's a pretty new faction. It's probably only about a month old. In Pathfinder Society, it's probably been around longer than that. But
Liberty's Edge. Oh. There should be a note. There it is. Is Liberty a noun?
say that again.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how to spell liberties. Because I tried IES, and that doesn't look right.
IES is right.
Is it?
I believe so.
Because I'm thinking in this sense, liberty is being used as a possessive, like the edge of liberty.
Oh, okay.
The liberty's edge. So I'm thinking
The edge
comma
belonging
S.
to liberty.
That doesn't look right either.
It would be Y''S for the possessive.
Yeah, it just looks wonky with the Y.
Mhm.
I'll get over it.